Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Cultivating Clarity. My name is Amy Deitemeyer, and I'm a clarity coach, which means I help women embrace self awareness, confidence, and freedom. On this channel, I address issues that are common among women and provide insight to help you grow through those issues. If you're watching this on the release date, it's Monday. And you may know I normally release on Tuesday, but there's a special reason for that. And I'll share why at the end. So today I want to talk about anxiety and fight or flight. Now, anxiety and fight or flight are not always the same thing, but they could be the same thing, and they could look very, very similar. So, some signs that you can be having if you're having anxiety or fight or flight are things like elevated blood pressure or heart rate. You could really feel on edge. You could have your memories be affected. I've had people tell me they don't remember anything. You could feel tense or trembling. I describe it as a buzz in my body. So, I'm going to talk about what this looks like in our brain. And we're going to use what is called the hand brain model. And this is the best description I've ever seen of how your brain works because it's very visual and I love a visual representation. So we have, if we're using your hand, we have the brain stem right here, which is your wrist. Okay. The downstairs brain consists of your palm and your thumb. This downstairs brain is your emotional, relational, survival brain. So, automatic behaviors like breathing and your fight or flight, you process emotional responses here. And the downstairs brain also includes your thumb, which we are going to use as your amygdala. So, your amygdala has been described as a smoke alarm. And with your smoke alarm, it doesn't really know if you have burnt dinner or if your house is on fire. It just warns you that there's smoke. So that is what your amygdala does, and it lives in your downstairs brain. Your upstairs brain are these four fingers, and this is the logical part of your brain. So it's actually called your prefrontal cortex, and it's in charge of thinking, body control, empathy, play, using language, planning ahead, holding back impulses. Okay, so this is how your brain looks. And when you fold over your upstairs brain, this is a picture of your brain, how it sits in your head. So things that come into your brain through the brain stem are first assessed here in the downstairs brain, that survival area, that emotional, relational area. And then it moves up to the downstairs brain. Okay. So fight or flight was made to help us, was made to protect our instincts. But what happens when we live in that anxiety and live in that fight or flight mode? Because our downstairs brain wants to protect us, it's not going to allow anything to go upstairs where we can make logical sense of it. So here's the true visual that I loved. She called the upstairs brain your intelligent eagle, and your downstairs brain a growling wolf. When there's a threat or a perceived threat even, what happens? This wolf growls and it bares its teeth, which then makes the eagle fly away. And it's hard to access that logical part of our brain. So instead, we live in survival. Going back to those signs we talked about in the beginning, elevated heart rate, constant buzzing or tenseness, feeling on edge, memories being affected. Those are just a few examples of how your brain reacts in fight or flight. When you're living in this survival brain, you're living with those constant signs. So, how can we get through fight or flight / anxiety into our logical brain? Well, if you've ever watched my channel, you know I'm going to talk about rest. There are actually 7 forms of rest, and you can find my other episode on those 7 forms of rest, and it touches on them briefly and what those look like. Some of the 7 forms, all of them really, but I'm just going to talk about a few of them, can be used to combat that fight or flight and bring your nervous system down. Things like deep breathing, physical activity, relaxing, social support. Those are all things that you can do. So deep breathing can look like whatever works for you. Some people will do the physiological sigh. So it's breathing in, and then just when you think you've breathed in as much as you can, take another sip at the top and then audibly exhale. Excuse me. You could do what I call box breathing. So you can picture a box, close your eyes, breathe in for 4, hold that for 4, breathe out for 4, hold that for 4, and repeat. I recommend turning on a timer when you're going to do deep breathing exercise like that. But that immediately, even if you only have 10 to 30 seconds to do it, will immediately start to lower your nervous system and that reaction and allow things to filter up to your logical brain. Physical activity can be things like exercise, a walk. Relaxation processes can be anything relaxing, reading, yoga, meditation, and social support is huge. How often have you called your mom or your sister or your best friend when you've had a bad day, or you need to rant about something, or something went wrong, or you're in a panic? Because they're your social support. All of those things can help. So the reason that I posted this video on Monday instead of Tuesday is because I am designing a rest course. And this course will help you to learn guilt-free how to rest, practicals about that, and also the warning signs before you go into fight or flight mode, or how to get you out. We'll dig deeper into that. How to catch yourself before you burn out. So I have 10 spots available at a 50% discount, which is $36.50, just until the end of tonight, Monday night. And that's in exchange for your feedback. So as I continue designing the course, I'm going to send you an email once a week for 8 weeks. And the email will take you less than 5 minutes to answer. And then I'll get those feedback results, and it will help me to know the things that my audience is looking for. So those spots end tonight at that 50% discount. I'm going to link in the comments how you can sign up there. I love you. I'm wishing you a week filled with flourishing moments, thriving confidence, and healthful vigor that you deserve. I'll see you next week.